Yes, yes, yes. It's another Wednesday and we are live back again. I've got my tea. I got my video on. I got my audio on. And we are going to keep it moving. When the tea ends, the live stream comes to an end. I should rephrase that, isn't it? When the tea finishes, the live stream comes to an end. That's how it's going to be today. What is going on, my people? How have you been? What has been going on in the last 7 days? How has things been? How have you been? Did you miss me? I missed you. It's great to be back on another Wednesday evening. You're rocking with Alexander, the greatest, the one and only, the one who has done things that has never been done before. Oh man, have I told you about the times when I used to do voiceovers? It wasn't like as a profession. Like I wasn't a professional voiceover person, but I used to record voiceovers for projects that I was working on. So if I was doing some video production for another company, another brand, I would do some voiceovers. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that process of putting stuff together. That was awesome. So I've done something today, which is I have started a live and I have not even sent, I usually send a message out on WhatsApp to my contacts to say I'm going live at 8, and I haven't done that today. I didn't even do a WhatsApp status. And I know it's not too late, but I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to keep it going. And for those of you who are watching, stay tuned. Keep it going. We are talking about being ready. Ready, rock steady. Ready like Freddy, rock steady. So yeah. Yes. So I think I'm ready. I've got my tea. The music is going. We've got the tunes. It's a cool evening. Is it cool or is it warm? I think it's a cool evening. We can call it a cool evening. And we are in session once again. We are talking. So last week, this isn't in the middle, is it? Let's move this across here. Get that going. I was testing out a camera this afternoon, some time ago, maybe a few months ago. I misplaced some lenses. I think 3 lenses for my camera, and it's around the time I've been talking about retiring from photography, and I think I can really say I've retired now. I haven't done those 100 photo shoots that I was thinking of doing. I think I probably did like 5, somewhere between maybe 5, 6 or 7, somewhere around there. I think it was less than 10. And as much as I was saying that I'm gonna end this chapter as in promoting myself as a photographer, I was still taking on some projects, but then I lost the lens, and I thought that was quite fitting that I lost the lens. I've still got the camera, thankfully, so I can still, do some work. I can still take pictures for some of my clients, and I can always hire the cameras if I needed to. There are also some other photographers that I work with, and I can always use them. But it was really interesting that around a time when I'm saying I'm not going to be doing any more photography, that my lens got, I'm going to say stolen. I'm saying stolen because I don't really lose things like that, and I can't think of where I would have left it. And usually if I do lose something, I would know exactly where I've lost it. I would have known the point, the last place I saw it, and I would have known the last place I put it, usually, and I can trace back and say it was somewhere between here and there. And at this point, I know where I left it, and it's gone. So that means it was stolen. So if you're watching and you stole my lenses, give it back, innit? Give it back. Stealing is not good. If I was, I know, teeth and self. If I was someone else, I'd say, well, I probably can say this. You know, if you're watching it and you got my lens, I hope you don't sleep until you give it back to me. I hope you can't sleep at night until you give it back to me. Is that bad? Is that a bad thing to say? I don't know. They should have teeth it in the first place. Anyways, leaving it up to the Almighty. So we're talking about being ready. And I like to have this statement. I like to have this statement, and I like to say, are you ready or are you prepared? And there is a difference. And sometimes people are like, what's the difference, Alex? Why are you trying to be deep? Why are you trying to go deep somewhere? You know, ready or prepared. It's the same thing. But they aren't the same thing. They're completely two different things, being ready and prepared. I like to say that being ready is a mindset, and being prepared is like you have the knowledge and the skills to do something. So for example, I'm ready to drive. I'm ready to drive, but I'm not prepared to drive because I don't know how to start an engine, don't know how to get the car in gear, don't know how to signal, all this kind of stuff. So I'm not prepared. I haven't done my theory, so I don't know, you know, what the road signs are, but I'm ready. In my mind, I'm ready. I want to do it. I'm ready to go. So there's a massive difference. And why am I talking about this today? This week, sometime between last week and this week, I had a few more conversations than normal about AI, and also about doing things that I'm prepared for, but wasn't expecting an opportunity to come in that moment. So I thought this life should be about being ready. Now, if you didn't see the notification on YouTube, if you didn't get a notification on YouTube, you wouldn't have known that I scheduled in this live maybe straight after. Yeah, I think it was straight after the last one finished. And I gave myself a bit of time to figure out what I'm going to talk about. But this topic came to me on Sunday. On Sunday, I was in church, and the pastor was talking about a kairos moment, as in an opportune moment. And he was talking about like we're prepared to do stuff, or we're ready to do stuff. And when that opportunity presents itself, it's like, bam, I'm in the right place. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm ready to go. I know what to do, and I'm in there. And sometimes I realized that we don't take action on stuff that we want to do, or make moves towards the dreams that we want to bring to life, because we aren't ready. And sometimes we are ready, but we're not prepared. And we know deep down that we're not prepared. So quite often we just don't do anything. And that's quite powerful. I thought that was quite powerful. So yeah, so we're talking about being ready. Are you ready? Are you ready for what's to come? Are you ready for the future? Are you ready for your future? Are you? I'm pausing for dramatic effect there. Are you actually ready for your future? So some time ago, I'm going to pull it up. Some time ago, was it last year? I've not been on Instagram for a while. I've been off Instagram for a little bit because Instagram was quite a massive distraction. It was a distraction, and it was potentially leading me to destruction. So I came off it, and that was good. Then I came off Snapchat. Snapchat was first. I think I've spoken about this before, but I came off Snapchat, and I came off Instagram, and I came off Facebook. And by coming off, I don't mean I deleted my account. I mean that I just stopped using it, deleted it from my phone. Now, Facebook has some kind of deal with Android that the app can't be deleted, or it's pre-installed or something, so you can disable it or enable it. So Facebook is still there. Anyway, I'm thinking of going back on, but I remembered while I was talking about being ready that I had created a piece of content. And this was back in 2020, May 18. And this is what it looked like. Share screen. Oops. And this is what it said. It says, "Are you ready?" Well, I had three images. This was me. I think at the time, Instagram did this thing, like you would have an image at the front, then you'd have a second image, and people must not have been using Instagram or something, because one day I would go on Instagram and I'll see this image, for example, the second image in the carousel, and I'll go off another day and I'll see another image. Anyway, here is me with my lockdown beard, and I had this thing that says, "Are you ready?" I'm going to read it out. It says, "Are you ready, or are you prepared, or both?" What's the difference? Ready is to be in a state of mind to take action, to be willing. Prepared is having tools, skill sets, being organized and equipped, things with the things needed to execute well. Let me read that again a bit more clearly. Are you ready? Are you prepared, or both? Ready is to be in a state of mind to take action, to be willing. Prepared is having the tools, skill sets, being organized and equipped, having the things needed to execute well. For example, we can be ready to go outside, but not prepared to deal with the weather. We're ready to leave in winter, but dressed for summer. Was that a good example? It's so funny. I'm seeing the emoji and doing the same thing. Some people are ready for marriage, but not prepared to make it work. Ready to quit their jobs and do something else, but not prepared for the next phase. Ready for love, but not prepared to show love in tough times. Just some thoughts with a yellow heart. So that was something that I was thinking about a few years ago. And I'm thinking to myself, I spoke about this already. Why not bring it up? Can I do this? Bam. Why not bring it up? Why not talk about it today? Are we ready? And it got me thinking about AI, because another thing popped up last week, and it was this company. I think he was an Indian company. Let's have a look. Let's go on his Twitter. And he tweeted that what's his name? Sumit Shah. He tweeted that he laid off 90% of his support team, because of his AI chatbot. That's amazing. 90% of the support team got laid off because of a chatbot. Let's do it that way. What was that? Someone just fell. I'm home alone. Anyway, I thought that was interesting, because there's so many people who feel threatened by AI, and they haven't figured out how to use AI to help them to go to a next level, help them to get to the next step. And I imagine that a huge percentage of these 90% would have had that feeling that maybe their jobs might be in danger because of AI. But then, were they prepared or even ready for what might happen? And this probably came, I'm not sure when, how this all happened, if it happened in like the space of a week or a day or what it was. But it got me thinking about the future. And I think we should all be thinking about the future and thinking about what the future holds and what does it look like for us, and what part are we going to play in this future that's coming, that we seem to have no control over. How can we have some control of what's going to happen in our lives and to us? So he laid these people off, and he says the results, let me go to his because it's bigger. Time to first response went from 1 minute and 44 seconds to instant. The resolution time went from 2 hours and 30 minutes to 3 minutes and 12 seconds. That's kind of funny that it's backwards. I feel like that's, I don't know, that's a bit too precise there. Customer support costs reduced by 85%. So his business is probably doing better. Time will tell how things really, really go. I guess if the AI is learning how to deal with different people, then it'll probably get better, right? But are we ready for a future where AI is so prevalent? Are we ready for a future where artificial intelligence is so prevalent? Are we going to learn how to work with it so it can help us? Some people are using it to get rid of parking tickets, parking fines, and all sorts of stuff. Some people are using it to fight against lawyers and all sorts of stuff. And it's a really great tool to have. But then, are you concerned as well? Are you concerned about what's going to happen? Are you concerned about what's going to happen in the future? Is your job at risk? Do you feel like your job is at risk? And what are some of the things that you can do to make sure that you either keep your job or you're prepared to get a new job? Like, there's some jobs that are obviously just going to go away because humans won't need to do this anymore. Are we prepared? Are we prepared for that? I saw something about Kendrick Lamar, the rapper, who did a song or he did a remix or something, and he mentioned that he called out AI. This is what the YouTuber said. Kendrick Lamar calls out AI, and that's kind of a silly statement because how do you call out AI? Because there's loads of different AI. You're going to call out all of artificial intelligence because artificial intelligence isn't one thing. But anyway, he calls it out and he says something about like the storytelling that's in hip hop and like how a machine wouldn't be able to tell the stories like a real artist would because of how we create and stuff. And it's kind of like the opinion is it's only a matter of time that might happen, that, you know, they might be to create a story with the double entendres. Is that what it's called? Entendres? Who's going to help me? It's going to help me. Double. How do you even spell it? Is it a French word? Entendre. How do you say it? Let's see how to say it. Oh, double entendre. So that's a word or phrase with that is open to two interpretations. Okay, great. So I thought that was interesting as well. You know, how are the musicians, the creatives, going to deal with AI? Are they going to use it? If you're a creative person, are you going to use it to help you to create? It's really interesting. Now, something that really got me this week, I don't even know what it was. I'd have to look at my YouTube videos and look at my history. I'm not going to show you my history because I don't think you really want to see that. Maybe you do. So there's this guy from Harvard, I think he was, and he's created this device. Oh, here it is. He has created this device. Okay, can you see that? Yes, you can. So he's got this little device, right? And without him speaking, he's just thinking, and he's able to think. And the machine, this computer, this thing, is able to, look at that, do what he's saying in his mind. Isn't that madness? So now, if it's 2023, yeah, well, 5 years ago. So oh my goodness, if 5 years ago this thing came out and it really did work, and it's not some random hoax or something, it really did work, that means that this technology has probably been around for a little bit longer, and the government, conspiracy theory time, and the government has been listening to our thoughts for a long time. But imagine that this thing can hear your thoughts or interpret your thoughts and whatever it is and react. Like there's a video here. All right, there's
10:43 a.m.
But he says time, and it shows him the time. It's amazing, and like we're literally in the future. The future is now. Like all this sci-fi movies that we used to watch when we were little, and all these futuristic movies. There's so many of this stuff that were made in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s that are here now. Do you know what I mean? I think that's amazing. But it's also a little bit concerning because it feels like things are moving really fast. Because I imagine like half the stuff that we watched on TV wouldn't happen until like, I don't know, the year 3000, you know? But I found out that there's a company called Alif Aeronautics that has flying cars. Flying cars, my people. Flying cars. Cars that fly. 2023. Well, actually, I don't know if the cars are made yet, but I think they're working on it. Okay, so I've seen a few flying cars about, like this one. Hold on, can you even see this? Yes, you can. Like this one. I'm not going to play the whole video. Was this the Leaf one? Yes, it was. Anyway, you can have flying cars. So you can be like in what was the movie called? The Fifth Element, or was it The Sixth Element? Whatever the movie is. With Bruce Willis? No, the other one. What was his name? The guy who did The Passion. Mel Gibson. They're flying cars everywhere. Imagine that. Imagine that life. Are you prepared to get your flying car license? Anyway, let me move on a little bit. So yeah, so going back to this readiness and preparedness, right? Sometimes we are ready, but we're not prepared. We've said that. And there is a consequence. There's a consequence. So on Sunday, the pastor was talking about the woman in the Bible. There's a story of a woman who had an issue of blood, it was described as, but I think she was like bleeding for like 12 years or something. And she was like an outcast of society because, back then it was like, you just need to stay at home, she probably would have been treated like a leper, but she wanted to be healed. And if you know the story of Jesus, if you're not a Christian and you don't have any kind of knowledge of what happened in the Bible and stuff like that, Jesus was a healer, right? Well, he was many things, but he was seen as a healer to a lot of people. And when he was around, people wanted to get healed. And this is one of the women who wanted to get healed, but she couldn't get near him. And she believed that if she could just touch him, just touch part of his clothes, that she would be healed. And she was healed, right? And the pastor was saying that that was a Kairos moment. That was a really, Pastor Tony, that was a really opportune moment, and she was ready for it. She was like, there's this guy in town who can heal people, but I can't get close to him for him to, work a miracle. But if I touch him, and she would have had to move through the crowd, a lot of people, just to touch his garment. But she was ready for that moment. She was also prepared, because I think that she had a plan. I think that she knew she had a plan of how she would weave about and get in, right? And it's like, we just need to be prepared. We've got these gifts, we've got these skills, we've got talent, we're good at stuff, we've tried stuff, we've done all sorts of stuff. And the moment comes, and it's like, boom, got it. I'm good to go. Let's go. I'm ready. Yes, Linday, I'm preaching today. And I'll tell you why, because I've been waiting for this moment. I'm both ready and prepared. It's like, boom, we're in there. We got it. Let's go. And you see that quite a lot with musicians. You see quite a lot with athletes. You see quite a lot with people in business, like you'd have gone into work and you're like thinking to yourself, I can run this whole team. I can run this whole department. I can get it going. But you never get the chance to prove yourself. And then one day your manager is off sick and he's got the cold, and you're like, yes, I'm gonna show them. Les Brown, a motivational speaker, he tells a story about how he was a DJ, and he was looking forward to being a DJ for so long. And he went to the radio station and he spoke to someone else is like, sir, I want to be a DJ. I want to be a disc jockey. I'm ready. I got tracks. I got blah, blah, blah. I'm good to go. I know how to do the stuff. I want an experience. Give me an experience. I just want to get in there. I just want to get a job. I want to be an intern. I'll do anything. And for weeks or months, he was making tea, etc. But there was this DJ, there was this presenter who would often come into work drunk. One day, he didn't make it in. And Les Brown was like, oh, baby, I'm ready. So he was like looking after the radio station. This guy, did he fall asleep? I don't know what happened, but he didn't come in. He wasn't available. And the manager, the owner of the radio station, said to Les, call up all the other DJs and see who's available. And he was like, yes, sir, I'm going to do that straight away. He hung up the phone, walked around for a little bit, called his mom. He said, Mama, I'm going to be on radio. I'm going to be on radio. He didn't call no one. And he called back the manager and says, no one's available. And the manager says to him, Les, do you know how to use the thing? And he goes, yes, I do. And he goes, get on the radio, play some music, but don't say a word. What do you think Les Brown did? Do you think he said a word? Do you think he spoke? Of course he did. He got it. And listen. If I find a video, I'll put it. I'll share it in the comments later. But it's so inspiring because he was ready to go. He said something along the lines of, I don't know. He did some radio talk, and he was like, "Yes, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock and roll." He was prepared. He was ready. He knew how to use this stuff. And then from there, he got a career in speaking. Like, he's an amazing motivational speaker, like one of the best. So yeah, he was ready and he was prepared. Are you ready? Are you prepared? What do you need to do to be ready? What do you need to do to prepare for your next move, for the things that's coming, for the future that you desire, for the future that you want, for the job you want, for the business you want to start, the book that you want to write, the song that you want to write, the song that you want to sing, the things that you want to do, the people you want to reach, the people you want to impact? Are you ready? Are you prepared? If you're not, what do you need to do? It's a big boy question, or big girl question. So get your big boy pants on and your big girl pants on and answer the question. Awesome. Listen, I'm getting a bit heated, getting a bit happy about this. Yeah. Gonna have a sip of my tea. Yes. So that pause is actually intentional. The pause is intentional because it's good for you to think about what you need to do to be ready. What do you need to do to be prepared? You don't have to tell me, but you should definitely tell yourself. A few weeks ago, well, not a few weeks ago, like last year, I wanted to be a better entrepreneur. And I started thinking, what are the things that I need to do to be a better entrepreneur? What are the things? Well, I don't really like calling myself an entrepreneur because although I'm involved in multiple projects and I've helped start multiple things, they're not all running without me. I don't think any of them are running without me. So I don't feel like an entrepreneur. I'm definitely a business owner. So I was thinking, what do I need to do to be a better business owner? And there was a few things that I recognized that I need to do, but I didn't really know where to start. But strangely enough, I started with a morning routine. There's a guy called Jim Rohn. You might have seen him about. Listen to him quite a lot. I'm big into personal development. Surprise, surprise. And he talks about developing a habit of having some discipline, like discipline in some area of your life. So I was having a morning routine where I was being disciplined. I'd wake up, I'll do my scriptures, I'll do my prayers, I'll do my meditating, I'll do my exercise, and I'm good to go for the day. And I was doing that because I wanted to make sure that I would have this discipline. I would have a practice of discipline of doing something that I didn't really want to do. Like, I didn't really want to wake up at 5 o'clock. And I did this for 3 months straight or something like that. And it was amazing. And I was tired and I just stuck to it. But it helped me, like getting ready for the day really helped me to settle my mind that I would go into work to think clearly. And thinking clearly, having clarity on what we want to do in our lives, the moves that we need to make, that time that we spend to think is so important. And it helps us to be both ready and prepared. So I did all of this, and I can say that I'm a little bit better. I'm a little bit better at being a business person, a business owner. And I'm grateful for it. But I've kind of dropped off a little bit in terms of waking up early. But I'm super productive. And it's like sometimes we spend time doing things that we don't need to do anymore. Well, it's still good to wake up early. And I still do wake up early, but it's not every day. And I don't beat myself about it. But I formed a good habit that I do it more regularly than I do not. But that habit led me into a place of having clarity on what I need to do in my business. And that clarity is what I'm working on now. and I'm seeing the benefits of it, and it's amazing. Yeah, yeah, it is amazing. It is amazing. It is amazing. So, guys, I'm gonna wrap up. Keeping this one short. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for chilling. Thanks for chilling. Thanks for coming by. It's been real, as always. It's been good to have you. Do you know what? So, earlier this year, I was like, I want to get some more speaking gigs. And do you know sometimes you've created something, or you've made something, or you've put effort to do something, and maybe you give it to one person, or you didn't use it at all, and then a few months later, there's a skill that you have, or this document that you've created, or something that you've done, and it comes in really, really handy, and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that I created this. Some time ago, I wanted to get some more speaking gigs, and I reached out to someone, and they said, can you send me, what did they say? They said, do you have a website, or do you have a speaker synopsis, or your talk synopsis? And I was like, no, just check out my website, and here's some links. And then I thought, let me create a synopsis. And I created 4 speakers topics in talk synopsis. I created 4 topic. What's going on? I created 4 talk synopsises. 4 different talks that I can give, like keynote speaks or workshops kind of thing. And I sent one to this person. And then like a few months later, and the thing is, right, I stayed up late doing this, and I had other work to do. So I had to stay up late and put in extra hours to do the other stuff, because I was thinking of, because I was making this thing. But months later, an opportunity arrived, and they're like, what would you talk about? What would you do? What's the benefit? Can you let me know a little bit about that? And I was like, bam, of course I can. I responded to that message so quickly, and the PDF was there. It was my picture. It had what I was going to talk about. And it was like, this person responded, and they're like, well done with your profiling, everything, getting it back so quickly. It shows that, you're about this, you're ready, you're on it, and you're prepared. But if I hadn't made those 4 talk synopsises, would I have impressed that person? Maybe. I probably could have stayed up late and created one and sent it to the next day, and nothing would have been done. No harm would have been done there. They probably would have been quite impressed anyway. But for me to send it on the same day was like, okay, this guy's serious. He's got his talk synopsis. Maybe he's done it before. And that was amazing. Right? And it's like all these little things. So I want to challenge you guys this week. Let's focus on some things, or the things that we are going to do to help us to be prepared for what's to come. The opportunities, when they arrive, you're ready and you're prepared for them. I like to keep £1 or £2 coins in my pocket. So if I see a homeless person, or someone who's begging, or someone who needs some kind of help, I can give them £1 and I can be a blessing to them, right? And the other day, I think it was Sunday, I bought something for someone, and they were giving me some money and some change. And I was like, why are you giving me all these £5? Like, it was like £5 in coins. I was like, why am I getting all these coins, man? It's gonna make my pocket heavy. It's a bit inconvenient. And I thought, you know what? It's all good. I'm going to be able to bless someone with at least one of these coins. And that very day, I blessed 2 people out of nowhere. Someone's on well, not really out of nowhere. Someone's on the train. We're like, hi, I'm trying to get to a hostel. I was like, £1 for you. I went somewhere else, and there's someone by a bus stop, and they're like, excuse me, sir. I don't know why there was loads of people, they singled me out. They must have known. They must have smelled that change in my pocket or something. They're like, can you lend me £1? I need to get some food. I'm like, of course. Here you go. Here's your £1. And it was like, I was prepared for that, because sometimes we don't like to give to the poor because we think that they're going to use it on drugs or alcohol or something else. And to be honest, it's not really any of our business sometimes, because we don't really know. But it's good to give with a willing heart. And I was really blessed to be able to do that. I felt really good. You know how it is when you give to charity, when you give someone you help, it feels good. That's why we watch those videos of people, giving money, tricking people, and then giving them money after. Anyway, this week, guys, make sure you are prepared for what's to come, because opportunity, that's one thing for sure. Opportunity will always present itself. But when it does present itself, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to be like, no, I'm not ready? Or are you going to be like, this is what I've been waiting for. Let's rock and roll. I'm ready to go. So this week, make a promise to yourself that you are going to be prepared and you're going to be ready. Let's get it. Let's grow. Let's keep learning. Let's keep sharing. If you're watching and you've not liked and you've not subscribed and you've not hit that bell notification, you know what to do. You know what time it is. Yes, times and seasons. Absolutely. Great practice. 100%. Let's get it. Let's go. Sounds like all of those just came out at the same time. It's been real. Peace out. Keep it moving. Keep it going. Keep it positive. And let's always remember that we are blessed beyond our wildest dreams. All right. Everyone, take care. See you next time.